Hello, I'm LuNEJuNE and welcome to the second episode of Random Bugs. In this series, I try to find the most bugs that are currently available to the players in Random Dice. I got a bunch of new suggestions and bug submissions from awesome people in my Discord server, so here is the part 2. Again, part 1 is going to be down in the description as well as the playlist to the whole thing. Anyway, let's get started. Let's start off with the visual bugs. Here is an image submitted by Jaunty. At first glance, it seems like a normal shop refresh, but if I zoom in closer, you can actually tell that it's completely different. Usually a shop refresh will contain a free reward and 5 slots that you can purchase dice. However, in this image specifically, you can see that all 6 slots have the same weird, eerie looking red dice that isn't even in the main game. You might argue that it looks like the fire dice, but I just don't think that. If you guys don't know, this red dice you are seeing is from the game Just Dice when random dice wasn't a thing. To tell you a backstory of this whole thing, random dice wasn't actually called random dice back in the day, it was called royal dice. And if you look closely on Discord, sometimes it'll actually have royal dice under players' names. However, before royal dice was officially released, there was this other game by 111% called Just Dice. This was a PvE styled game and you can see that there were 6 dice in total. And one of those 6 dice is the red dice you see in the first image. Random dice was actually created based off of this game, meaning they might have used the same assets from Just Dice. This was the backstory and this bug has been a thing for ages. I mostly got it as well, and this usually happens when you lose connection to the game while loading in. It's not a game breaking bug since all you have to do is to restart the game and it'll fix. I highly doubt that they are going to fix an issue like this one. I know this is a big leap from the previous visual bug, but this is an actual game breaking one. This clip was submitted by Kolana, a very professional GOATS player, and let's just take a look at the clip. Did you catch something weird about the clip? First of all, you can see Dice6 of all people is abusing this technique called disconnection. If you don't know about random dice the game can be very distorted and can mess things up when you are slightly disconnected from the server. So a small bit of latency can cause a whole match. However, if you see, Dice6 has disconnected several times to try to make so that Nuke doesn't hit the targets. This might sound very confusing, but this is a bug that I will later explain after this with a better explanation. The clip here shows that by exiting the game multiple times, you can cause the mob's speed to change. A wave 24 mob will not move at a speed this slow. This is what a normal wave 24 mob looks like, and this is how this clip's wave 24 mob speed looks like. Do you see a big difference? Since both Dice6 and Kolana are both playing Helpful Nuke, which is weak against Flow, mainly because of the speed boost, this gives them an advantage since the timer runs at the same rate, but the mobs don't. But imagine Kolana using something like Solo Lunar Flow. By the way, using disconnection strategy is actually illegal and many players have gotten banned because of this. If you do see a player constantly leaving the game to get a small advantage, report them using the in-game reporting button to get cheaters banned. So Dice6 here is basically cheating in this match. Now, does he really have skill when in reality he cheats all game? I will now explain the whole Nuke Disconnection glitch strategy. When you disconnect at a correct time, the game will freeze and the entity on the lane will start to wobble a bit in place. After this, a disconnection message appears and the match goes on. But during this wobbling stage, the nukes you send are not registered by the game. I have no explanation on why this is the case, but apparently Nuke doesn't nuke the mobs. Check this clip out by Donut. As you can see, the nuke clearly hit both of them, but the Basilisk boss didn't die. This caused Donut to spend way more SP than they really needed to. And this is the exact thing that Dice on the other glitch wanted to replicate. Again, players using disconnection as an advantage to win over opponents are cheaters and they need to get banned. Other bugs like the assassin disconnection strat also count towards this. I'm going to be real here, there are no 6 dice decks in this game, but the functionality is so different that it is considered having 6 dice in a match. If you see from this image sent by Rom, you can see Solar, Lunar, Joker, Growth, and Sandswamp. But notice he has the trait on, and his board is currently Blessings. However, why does he have the normal Sandswamp swamp? Shouldn't the trait remove the ability to spawn swamps on the lane for Sandswamp? I am not going to show how Rom replicated this glitch, but it is quite funny indeed. For all the modifiable dice in-game such as Metastasis, Holy Sword, Landmine, and Sandswamp, they all turn into their other variant a frame after they are spawned. So when they are first spawned, they spawn as the normal version, but the very next frame, they turn into the modified version. If you also have high ping and latency, this also is very visible. So it's technically still 5 dice, but Sandswamp and the Sand Cloud trait is so different from each other that you have 5 dice that you can have 6 functions with. This is another visual bug and is one of the smallest of bugs I've seen. Taiwanese Dicer Noob found that some of the text on the patch notes page is bugged. It seems like they are supposed to be colored codes, but they ended up not becoming the actual thing, and they just came out as a normal text. Probably another connection bug, and it doesn't really matter since you can still read the whole thing without issue. We all know that recharge dice can only charge when the mobs are on their side in co-op, but an image was submitted by Acer, and this image breaks the law. Recharge dice is somehow charging on the boss even though it is on the partner's side. I have no clue if this is a visual bug or an actual charge, but if it is actually charging, this is a big game breaking bug. Speaking of game breaking, this is probably the most game breaking thing in random dice. Class 9 Nuke should not be able to kill any boss with a 4-pip, because it only deals 23% damage, which means 23 times 4, which is 92. But somehow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 one-shots the IX-10 boss with just a 4-pip. I know he isn't a cheater or a hacker because he shows his gameplays and he also sent screenshots that he has class 9 Nuke. He also prepares for a second nuke when he sends the 4-pip expecting the boss to survive. There has been some theories, and a theory by Rush is that when you have far less HP for your boss compared to your opponent, the boss itself will die faster. I have no clue for this bug, but it's a definite game breaking one, and let's just say another connection issue. Speaking of nuke dice, Nuke's targeting is very broken. As you can see from this image, you can see that the opponent's nuke is firing at the starting gate, not the end gate. Now this might look like some other visual bug, but I got some reports on saying that sometimes Nuke will decide to fire at the most HP entity on the lane. This was also submitted by Rush, and I honestly don't get Nuke dice anymore. Some players are currently unavailable to play random dice on their device because of this problem. We assume that it's a glitch in the system, but we cannot be too sure. This security policy error message pops up and immediately kicks you out the next frame. A lot of people are having this issue, so 111% should definitely fix this. I have no idea onto why this has happened. It might be just a new way to ban players, but it makes no sense since I don't think would be playing with cheaters or cheating themselves. 111%, do your job correctly. Many have sent me screenshots of this, and it is related to the top part of the menu screen going missing and not being able to check your stats. This includes gold, gems, trophies, and even class. This is only a visual bug, and you can restart the game to fix this issue. I personally have never witnessed this bug before, so I don't have a way to replicate this bug. This is another old bug that still happens to this day. This bug is where a dice you spawn will spawn outside of the board, usually ending up at the top of the board or in the middle of the lane. This is funny, but also it's just a visual bug, and sometimes the dice isn't even there. Another small bug that all you have to do to fix is to start random dice. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have found any bugs and would like to be a part of the video for the next random dice bug series, please submit a bug in my Discord server and it will be highly appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.